Madonna, a symbol of reinvention, rebellion, and unstoppable ambition. She flipped pop culture on its head with a never-ending parade of controversial performances, chart-topping hits, and style choices that made headlines around the world. But behind the stage lights and the magazine covers lies a woman driven by relentless energy, raw emotion, and the conviction that boundaries exist only to be shattered. In a small Michigan town known for its factories and quiet neighborhoods, a young Madonna Louise Ciccone imagines a life far beyond the horizon. The sting of losing her mother at a tender age haunts her, fueling a raw edge in everything she does. Surrounded by siblings and a hardworking father, she learns to stand out, whether through top grades or rebellious acts. She's the kid who leaps onto a dining table stage during family gatherings, craving attention as much as she fears the emptiness that lurks in the corners. She devours old Hollywood musicals on television, mesmerized by the transformative power of dance and costume. Beneath that small-town roof, a restless spark flickers inside her, one that whispers, "There's a bigger world waiting, if only you have the guts to chase it." At 20, Madonna arrives in New York with a mere few dollars in her pocket, a dance scholarship, and steel in her spine. The city breathes neon and hustle, its sidewalks pulsing with street musicians, club promoters, and every flavor of the human spirit. She rents a dingy apartment where roaches scuttle across peeling linoleum. Money is so scarce, she sometimes sifts through cushions for enough change to buy a bagel. But the adrenaline of Manhattan enthralls her. Days are spent in sweaty dance studios, nights in edgy clubs where music feels like lifeblood. She learns to survive on scraps, forging friendships with fellow artists who also see the city as a launching pad. Worry, excitement, and sheer ambition simmer inside her. She's certain that if she can't find a door to opportunity, she'll blast her own hole in the wall. After short stints in dance troupes, she forms a band, then another, dabbling in rock edges, before discovering her true love, dance pop. A friend's basement studio becomes a haven, where she records rough demos of songs with a pulsating dance beat and a provocative edge. Producers see something electric in her, the fierce stare, the raw voice, the raw dance energy that can't be contained. One by one, radio DJs spin her early singles in local clubs, urging ravers and punks alike onto the dance floor. She's a blazing presence under strobe lights, fishnet gloves, bleached hair, bangles that rattle with each move. Audiences sense a performer who merges innocence and defiance in a single breath. A major label soon comes knocking, but she remains cautious, determined never to lose the rebellious streak that defines her. It's the mid-1980s, and Madonna's album, Like a Virgin, catapults her into a pop stratosphere. The MTV generation devours every visual. Her lace-trimmed wedding dress at the VMAs, the sly twinkle in her eye as she rolls on stage. Some critics call it scandalous. Others say it's genius marketing. But for Madonna, it's more personal, a statement that she controls her image, not the industry or the moral guardians of society. Teenagers everywhere copy her layered clothes and big hair, further fueling the mania. She stares down cameras in interviews, dropping bold opinions that thrill fans and enrage conservative commentators. Underneath the shocking poses, a savvy mind calculates the next evolution. She loves the spotlight, but she loves pushing its boundaries even more. With each album, True Blue, Like a Prayer, she evolves like a chameleon. Like a Prayer's music video triggers a global uproar, burning crosses, saintly images, and an intermingling of the sacred and profane. Religious groups protest, sponsors panic. Madonna shrugs, continuing to push the lines between art, spirituality, and human desire. Within her private circles, she wrestles with the weight of unstoppable fame. Paparazzi flashbulbs pierce her every date, heartbreak, or new creative risk. Yet the controversies seem to drive her further. Each backlash paves the way for a bigger audience. Each ban or boycott fueling her hunger to test society's limits. She reinvents her look, her style, her sound, trading bubblegum pop for raw, gritty confessionals about sex, religion, power, and independence. Madonna's bold foray into filmmaking and a steamy coffee table book called Sex cement her status as the queen of reinvention. One minute she's the material girl. The next she's an erotic muse exploring taboo themes. Critics accuse her of shock tactics for profit. Fans see empowerment. She stands by every photograph, lyric, and shocking press conference, forging a blueprint for future pop stars to follow. Behind the curtain, she's a disciplined workaholic who starts every morning with a workout, then a studio session, then endless meetings. Her eyes remain locked on longevity, aiming to outlast mere 80s or 90s references and become an icon for multiple generations. She invests in massive world tours, high-tech stage designs, and daring costumes that keep audiences riveted and uncertain of what she'll do next. Closing in on 40, she stuns critics again with Ray of Light. Electronic beats swirl under spiritual and personal lyrics. Once known for bombastic dance pop, she now floats on introspective melodies. The album's success flabbergasts everyone. From radio DJs to longtime fans, it wins Grammys and cements her artistry beyond mere headlines. In interviews, she shares glimpses of motherhood, revealing a gentler interior that complements her edgy public persona. Yet she never abandons that spark of rebelliousness. She invests in philanthropic ventures, flirts with acting again, and teases new sonic landscapes. Whether trading in disco loops or electronica pulses, she shapeshifts while retaining the core ambition that first drove her through the grit of New York. The world sees her not just as a star, but as a woman who can fuse pop anthems with serious introspection. Concert stadiums are full as she undertakes massive tours that combine Cirque du Soleil flair with raw athleticism. She faces heartbreak from divorces, challenges from new pop starlets, and sometimes savage headlines about aging in an industry obsessed with youth. Instead of retreating, she doubles down. Her dance routines become even more rigorous, her costumes more provocative, her set designs more elaborate. She's never truly alone, though. Legions of fans see her as the ultimate example of self-determination. Someone who overcame small-town limitations, personal tragedies, and ever-shifting cultural climates. Each new record sets a tone for dance clubs around the globe, from music to confessions on a dance floor. She merges old-school dance vibes with high-tech artistry, bridging a generation gap that could have left her behind.